should you renew your mortgage early in Canada? Well, with me, I have Alex Lavender, as always, a certified mortgage broker who's here to really break down the pros and cons of renewing your mortgage early. So, Alex, what exactly happens when you renew a mortgage early? Can you just walk me through what that process looks like?
Yeah, and there are different ways that you can renew a mortgage early. So it'd be good to clarify that. Essentially, renewing a mortgage early is to have the new mortgage take effect before the maturity date of your existing mortgage. There's also other options where it might be perceived as renewing your mortgage early, but you're locking in a rate early for the same maturity date. So it's good to differentiate between those, and especially if you're looking at a renewal offer from your lender, it's really important to differentiate that as well, because if you're renewing through your existing lender and your renewal date is 4 months out, and you have a rate of 2% today, and the renewal rate is 4%, you want to hold on to that 2% rate for the to the last minute that you can. You do not want to renew that early.
Is it mainly based off of interest rates then? Because I would assume the reverse is going to be true, right? Where if you currently have a mortgage at like 5%, maybe 6%, and you see that interest rates have fallen to like 4%, that would
Yeah.
then be an incentive to renew your mortgage early. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, that would be a great strategy. We're not seeing it right now. We're seeing a lot of clients coming out of a 1 or 2% rate environment with a doubling of an interest rate. But yes, that is very true. If the rates were 6% and the rates today are 4%, then the inverse is true. You want to try and close that renewal and get it funded as soon as possible so that you can get out of that higher rate and get into the newer rate today.
And is there a like fee or a penalty that you have to pay when you do an early mortgage renewal?
It depends. So if you're going back through the same lender, uh, it depends on the lender. Some lenders may allow you to renew back through them early, and different timelines as well. Maybe it's 4 months before maturity, maybe it's 6 months before maturity. Depends on the lender. Some may allow you to renew early without a penalty. If you're switching lending institutions, you will almost always have a penalty if you pay out that mortgage before the maturity date. So if you switch to a different lender for a better rate.
Are there any lenders for mortgages who have um, no penalties for like I don't know, this is called closing your mortgage early or renewing it early?
No, not that I'm aware of. They would all have some sort of penalty unless you were in an open rate mortgage, which would be unlikely that you'd be in an open rate mortgage because the rate is higher initially. But that would be kind of the only scenario. I mean, think of it in the lender's mind, right? They're making money, they're making interest off this mortgage. They want to hold on to it for as long as possible in the contract. They really don't have any incentive for you to break it early.
And when your mortgage renewal does come up, whether you're doing it early or not, what are some different like options that people have in order to potentially get a better mortgage and to save money on monthly payments or get a lower interest rate? What sort of options does someone have?
Yeah, it's a great question, Mark. So uh, there are a few options. You can renew with your existing lender. You can switch lenders to get a better interest rate and keep everything the same with your existing mortgage. And then you can do other things such as changing the structure of the mortgage. So this would be more of a refinance, but there are hybrid models. So maybe you're switching lenders and you're increasing the amortization, which would make your payments go down lower. Maybe you're combining a home equity line of credit to your mortgage, which would consolidate it together, which we can do with a transfer as well. Or maybe you're doing something else, more of a refinance route, which is like adding a home equity line of credit to your mortgage. Or maybe it's taking some equity out of the property to do renovations or consolidate debt. So there's a few different strategies, and I always ask clients, what's your plan for the next 5 years? Do you plan to sell this house or stay in it? And we want to make sure that the next mortgage product that they're going into is going to fit their future outlook. Some people are planning to sell their home in 2 years' time. That is not a situation where you want to be in a 5-year fixed, especially with a big five bank. That's a situation where maybe you want to be in a variable rate mortgage, maybe you want to be in a short-term fix like a 2-year fixed, or maybe you want to go into some sort of open mortgage if it's even shorter term than that.
Yeah, I see. So a lot to think about here for people who are considering to
Yeah.
renew their mortgage early. If you could like picture like two people, one person who's like, you should definitely renew your mortgage early, and one person who you would never advise them to renew their mortgage early. What are those two cases that you would say, hey, you're the ideal candidate, and hey, you should not do it?
Well, a big thing comes down to rate. So the person that should definitely do it early is that person that might be in a 6% rate, or rates maybe 3% today. That's going to make a lot of sense. That's someone who should definitely do it. Also, someone else that should potentially do it is if they have a lot of debt too, and they want to consolidate it together. Sometimes it makes more sense to do it a couple months early instead of just waiting and continuing on at 20% interest. It really depends, how much debt do they have relative to the mortgage amount? It's kind of case by case. And then someone that definitely should not renew early is someone that has one of these rock bottom rates from 2020, 2021 that we're still seeing, 1.5%, 2%. You want to hold on to that right until the very end, right until the maturity date for sure.
And if you want help with your mortgage or renewing your mortgage, and you want options from multiple different lenders and to work with someone like Alex, then use the link down below this video where you can work directly with Alex for free. It's like no cost to you, which is awesome part about using a mortgage broker. So use the link down below and leave us a comment. If you have any questions on renewing your mortgage or any sort of mortgage refinancing, let us know in the comments below. Subscribe to Alex Lavender on YouTube, and we'll see you in the next video.